Hello, I'm John and welcome to Tesla Gurus. And this week we've been down to see R Symons, one of Britain's leading independent EV retailers. Here's Richard the owner taking a look around his brand new 2021 Model 3 Performance. Now the car was fresh off the boat the day before, all the way from California, sailed into Southampton, and Richard went down there to collect it. This is his collection video you can see a clip of, and if you want to see the complete video we've included the link in our description below. But a couple of days after Richard picked up his car, he kindly invited us down to drive it and also to check out one of the main changes that's happened to the 2021 model, and that's the wheel and tyre package. Now it looks quite different to the existing wheel, but there are also other changes that you may not be aware of, so we're going to look at this in much more detail in this video and take it for a test drive, see if there's any difference on the road. Since the Model 3 Performance was first released in mid-2018, it's been fitted with a 20-inch diameter by 8.5-inch wide wheel called the Turbine. The tyre that's been used has been the very highly regarded Michelin Pilot Sport 4S, but now that's all changed. The style of the wheel has gone to what's now called the Uberturbine, or the outstanding turbine if you want to translate it literally. Some people may have a different opinion of that, but that's completely subjective. The main difference there with the wheel is that we've gone from a 20-inch by 8.5-inch wide rim to a 9-inch wide rim. The tyres have also changed from the Michelins, and we've now gone to Pirelli P Zeros. So the first thing to point out is that the P Zero is actually not just a single tyre, it's a family of tyres, and it's very important to understand exactly which P Zero a car is fitted with to appreciate how it's going to perform. When we take a closer look at the tyres that are fitted to this new model, we can see that it's a PZ4, so it's the very latest Pirelli P Zero. There are also some other markings on the side of the tyre which give us an idea of how it's going to perform. The tread wear number on the P Zero here, it's 280. On the Michelin PS4S it's actually 300. That means the Michelin should wear better than the P Zero. Then the other markings on the tyre, traction and temperature, and both the Pirelli and the Michelin have the highest rating there. So traction is the best grip and temperature is how it can withstand heat build-up. And around the other side of the tyre there's some more markings. TO is something that Tesla owners are quite familiar with. It shows that the tyre has been specifically designed to fit a Tesla. What the tyre manufacturers do is a closely guarded secret, but at least we know it's been developed specifically for these vehicles. And we also see here the Pirelli Elect logo. This identifies Pirelli tyres developed for ultra-high performance electric and plug-in vehicles, and that means that they can withstand the extra load and also have lower rolling resistance, so they give you better range. And last but not least, we see the PNCS logo, which is Pirelli's noise cancelling system. It's very similar to the foam that you find in the Michelin tyres. It's designed to reduce noise and any harshness from the tyre that's going to be transmitted through into the cabin. Now there's one more important marking that we haven't yet looked at, which is the size of the tyre, and you may not think this is important because it's the same size as before, a 235/35/20 tyre. But going back to what I said earlier about the rim size changing, this means that we're using the same size tyre as before but on a wider rim. So what does that mean? There are standard recommendations for matching wheel widths with tyre widths. So with a 235mm wide tyre such as this, the ideal width for the wheel would be 8.5 inches, which is what we used to have. Now we've gone to a 9-inch wheel, it means that the 235 wide tyre is very slightly stretched on the wheel. Stretching can be done for a few reasons. One is looks. Here are some extreme examples. Another is in competition, where you might want to just make the sidewall a little bit stiffer to make the turn in a little bit sharper on the car, but on a road car normally stretching isn't something that's encouraged. So why have Tesla chosen to go this route? Well, we really don't know, but if you have a look at the old wheel and tyre compared to the new wheel and tyre, you can see here that there is a big difference, and it does make a difference to handling. It also maybe will make a difference to how easily you curb your wheels. There's also one other difference we want to point out between the existing Michelin tyre and the new P Zero tyre. the amount of tread width you've got. Now, even though the tyre is 235mm wide, that doesn't actually tell you how wide the tread is, because that can be a different measurement. And we carried out a fairly crude comparison here, but you can go onto an American site called Tyre, where they've carried out lots more measurements over a longer period of time, and you can look up a specific tyre and find out lots more information about it in terms of the weight, the tyre width, and all sorts of other data that you didn't even know existed about tyres. So have a look at TyreRack.com if you're interested in that kind of thing. If you're not, but you have difficulty sleeping, then go and look at TyreRack.com, because I think that's going to make you drop off straight away. Now, one last measurement we thought we'd carry out before we took the new car for a test drive is to weigh one of the old wheels and tyres and one of the new wheels and tyres. So first on the scales is the existing turbine wheel with the Michelin Pilot Sport 4S, and second is the new Uberturbine, and as we can see it's quite a fair bit heavier, well over a kilo, and most of that's going to be in the rim itself. The tyres are roughly similar weights. So if you were hoping to save a bit of weight with the new Uberturbines, sorry to disappoint you. Well, we put the wheels back on their respective cars, and now it's time to take a test drive. It's worth mentioning that before we took out the refreshed Model 3 Performance, we took out an earlier Model 3 Performance with the Michelins, so we could have a direct comparison between the two tyres. Other than the new wheel package, both cars should be the same, so this is the best we can do at a direct comparison.
Yeah, go on, Carol.
Well, so I definitely think the steering feels a bit heavier,
okay,
and because that can be the tyres, obviously. I'm finding that I'm feeling more of the road through the steering wheel with this, and it's feeling more. I can feel the small undulations more.
Okay.
So now this is what I'm saying about potentially if you stretch a tyre slightly,
yeah,
you've got a little bit less compliance, so you'd feel more of the road.
Yeah.
Well, now that's not necessarily a bad thing, you know, but it depends what style of driving you're doing. If you want out and out comfort, you don't really want that. I mean, this feels less comfortable with the Pirellis, and I'm saying that assuming that the suspension, the damping and the spring rates and everything is the same.
Yeah.
If it's just the tyres, this is more kind of bouncy and less compliant. So yeah, I mean, that's been a good little test drive of the 2021 refreshed Model 3 Performance. I'd say on the whole, it feels very similar, but there is definitely something different about the tyres, and you can feel more of the road through the steering, which can be a good thing, but to some people that will maybe put them off a little bit.
As this testing took place on public roads, we weren't able to really push the tyres, so this was more about how they felt and how comfortable the car was. We'll be looking again at the Michelin versus Pirelli debate when we take to the track in a future video, so look out for that. In the meantime, I'd like to thank Richard Symons and his team for providing the cars and all the hospitality. Also, I'd like to thank you very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe if you have enjoyed it. We really do appreciate your support. And if you have any comments, please leave them below, and also any ideas for future videos. We'd love to hear them. So thanks again. I've been John from Tesla Gurus. See you next time. Until then, bye for now.